So, PT, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Why was the cigar always invited to the party?
Why was the cigar invited to the party?
Always invited to the party.
Looking at you, I would assume it's a gentleman's party and cigar fits in pretty well.
Because it was always smoking hot.
Oh, yeah, okay. Another way of looking at it. Yeah.
On that note, let me start by a formal introduction of Mr. Praveen Thampi, who has the best cigar collection I've ever seen in Dubai. How do I know that? A few months back, I think not even a few months, just a month and a half probably back, I came across this amazing bunch of people who are in a club that is called the Ashhole Club. Now, before you get me wrong and before you criticize me on how I pronounce that, that's a cigar club, one of the most premium cigar clubs of Dubai, and not only Dubai, but it is spread across the globe. So the Dubai chapter is being headed by the one and only Mr. Praveen Thampi, who's the head honcho and who's now in Kapala Properties today with us. So welcome here, sir.
Thank you, Asim.
And now we'll formally start the session about what an amazing club that you have created. I have been fortunate enough to be a part of it, and it was just simply splendid. I mean, one of the few places where you can just, as you, and on that note, when he met me, he had a look at me and he said, you know, Asim, this is one of the few places that you can actually come and you can let your hair down and you can just relax and talk. And I asked him, have you had a good look at me? Have you even had a casual glance at me? What hair, way to let down? But it was an amazing feeling to meet such a nice group of people who have been chaperoned by you throughout. I saw that. So how does it feel to be running such an elite club in Dubai?
Before I get there, thank you so much for stumping me last night to come and join the session.
Yes, I hounded him. I basically hounded you.
I'm okay with that. I must congratulate you for this office. Brilliant place, great studio. I'm sure surrounded by girls like this who are very specific in what they want. I'm sure you've done a pretty good job out here. Very nice. Feeling comfortable even said, I've never done this before. Okay, I have, but it's pretty nice. Thank you. And Asim,
it's a pleasure to be here.
Likewise. More importantly, you're right when you said pronounce it right. Ashhole. Very important to understand the spellings and put it in the right place. Ashhole. We started in 2015 in Phoenix, Arizona. I look after the global club operations. We have 46 chapters around the world. In US alone. We are in the UK, we are in Finland, we are in Sweden, Spain, France, Italy, Europe is covered that way, UK, South Africa, we are in Indonesia, we are in India. We are here, Oman. Sorry if I've missed some of these, but with all of this, we are rated the biggest cigar club in the world, premium cigar club in the world. Typically what happens is when people try and form cigar clubs or any club, it turns out to be a few friends sitting together and it becomes their domain. They get together.
Inner circle.
It pretty much becomes an inner circle. Creating a community is not easy. I mean, you can actually have friends coming in and, oh, what were you doing this day or that day? You have a conversation, have a cigar and get out. But the objective here was not just to sit around and have a cigar. It was a little bit more than that. Create a community, try and extend our activities or whatever we do beyond sitting and just enjoying a cigar. Absolutely, if you ask me, what is the core purpose? Yeah, it is enjoying a good cigar with good friends and who have the right frame of mind to sit and just enjoy the cigar rather than looking at the negatives or whatever that is.
So what inspired you to start this journey? Because everything is very time consuming. This activity in itself is very time consuming, and I see you're a busy person. So what inspired you to actually start this?
You said the right thing. It's not practical to do anything about this club during the day. It is not possible. One of the challenges that I have setting up branches or chapters in any part of the world is getting the right. There are plenty of cigar people who are passionate about this and who want to do this. But this is not just about passion. The commitment levels has to be far beyond just enjoying a cigar, because you don't have time. Nobody has time these days.
And it has to be consistent.
It has to be consistent. Otherwise, it loses value. It withers away very, very quickly. You won't even realize what hit you. So, suddenly it becomes a has-been kind of a scenario.
So you have to manage every week the expectations of around 400-500 people?
Look, let me put it this way. Everywhere we don't follow the same pattern that we follow in Dubai. If I were to look at the operations, US operations work very differently. We have the founders from Phoenix, Arizona, who look after the US operations themselves. And most states function as independent units. The presidents of each chapter looks after their own memberships and how things are done and what kind of activities serve their purpose. Objectively, and the core essence is the same, but depending on the state, depending on the need, people change what activities they get into. But as you move out of the US, which I look after, Europe is very different from what Middle East is. India is very different from this place. There are places where you have regulatory challenges and you're not able to actually get out there and enjoy a session together with people. But if you look at the Middle Eastern market, especially Dubai, it's a haven for people who enjoy cigars. You could literally off the hook, you can think of 20 odd cigar lounges which you could walk in just like that anytime. Plus, most of the good fine dining or restaurants have an extension of a cigar lounge. So it's a great place to be for cigar people, and hence this happens to be the single largest chapter for us as well, globally.
Globally, single largest.
Yeah.
So again, what inspired you to actually form? I know you love cigars, so do a million other people. They love cigars, but taking your time out, taking the pains to form this, it's not easy.
No.
It's not only time consuming, it's very challenging as well. Why? Why do you take this pain? I want to know.
Yeah. I haven't really stepped back and thought why I take that pain. I can simply put it in one word: I enjoy it.
You enjoy it.
It's as simple as that. There's no purpose. Many things that we do in our lives don't have a purpose. It doesn't need to have a purpose. We have work which is purpose driven. We have family which is purpose driven. Everything. There are certain things that you want to keep for yourself, and you just want to reflect on your own passion or whatever that is. I love single malts. I love cigars. And these are two areas that I really indulge in, not in terms of consumption, but in terms of understanding what that is. By nature, I have OCD, It helps me into digging into things further. I actually do. I go read a lot more than generally people do about anything that I tend to like, and that tends to push the bar a little more than what you normally do, and it helps. And I like to learn. It's a cigar industry, cigar business, cigar as a passion is it's a deep dive in many ways. It's a very, very deep dive. 13th, 14th century, or even Mayan culture, that's when it started. So if you just want to step back and understand things, what happened then, you have a lifetime to learn. And I have been doing this for 26 years now, but if you ask me, not enough. I've just understood some things.
Okay. So what makes this club different from the other clubs that are in Dubai? What is the USP you have? Social. So I mean, socially, you have other cigar clubs, you have other activity clubs, but you're very passionate about. So you understand the core DNA of this club. So what is the core DNA that differentiates this from the other clubs?
Okay, let me take you one step back here. Very important to understand. This is not a product, this is not a service. Not at all. I wouldn't want to talk about a USP which would drive people in here. And people don't walk into this place. It's purely on invitation that we get people in, on references. You're a member of the club yourself. If you were to say that I have a friend who would like to join, my first question would be, is he a cigar person? And when I say a cigar person, it doesn't necessarily mean somebody who's been enjoying cigars for a long time. It means is that person passionate about this particular subject? Does he like to learn? Yeah, that's the kind of people that we like to bring in on board. Many of these places, the challenge remains that it turns out to be a networking place, and many of the entrepreneurs or CEOs of organizations, they don't have time for that. They don't want to come they finish work, come into a place and again start talking about
work.
You don't want to do that. This is your time. You just want to spend time and enjoy that.
So that DNA I understand, because on weekends I do off-roading. And that everybody who does off-roading in Dubai, and I'm a very avid fan of off-roading and being in the desert. So it just takes you away from your mechanical or your day activity, which goes on day in, day out, and then you sit, relax with friends, have a human interaction and a human conversation, which I think is now becoming very, very scarce in Dubai. People don't interact. People have stopped interacting with humans, and people actually now are not very comfortable in it. And this club or similar places are one of the best places where you can actually sit and have an interaction with another human being on that core DNA level.
Not having time is, I think, pretty much the case with any big city. If you see, people don't have time. I mean, because you're not just doing what you're doing, you're doing more than what you're supposed to be doing. And that's the only way to stay ahead, or that's the only way you can push your bar, isn't it? I mean, whether it is work or anything else, you're trying to do that all the time. So time for this will only come if you're passionate about this, and if this is something that you want to pursue in various forms. People come here just to enjoy your company, or people come here just to learn more about the cigar, or the ambience, or the vibe that they get out of that evening, or just to chill out and unwind. It could be any reason. It doesn't have to be one specific thing.
Vibe. This happens normally on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday evening.
And why Thursday? Many people have asked me this question.
Two questions. Why Thursday? And what is the vibe that you want to actually, taking away all variables, what is the vibe that you would like to create on a Thursday? Or what you would love to see?
Yeah, the first thing here is, this is not about me, honestly. Not at all about me.
No, but you're the driving force.
Yeah, agreed. I have to step back again. Everything that you ask, I want to give you a background on why I am saying this. Globally, we have, including corporates and individuals, we probably have close to 500,000 members around the world. Globally, which is not small by any standards. I don't think any club in any form can claim that. But this is not about claim. What I'm saying is, why I talk about numbers. In Dubai alone, last count, I do that every Thursday. Last count, it is 664 members in Dubai chapter alone.
664
members.
Not the UAE, only the Dubai chapter.
Well, when I say Dubai, we don't have a chapter in Abu Dhabi or Fujairah or Ras Al Khaimah. So far, there are quite a few members who come in from Abu Dhabi as well. And you'll be surprised, there are people who drive in from Abu Dhabi every Thursday for this. Every Thursday. It all depends on, like I said, if you see this as a place that you want to be, you do. And even last night when you were there, you would have seen some people who have come in from Abu Dhabi.
But that's flying in from far greater distances than Abu Dhabi.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. There are people who choose Thursday morning arrival just because they want to be there in the evening. And What does it have to do with business? Nothing. Nothing. They just want to be there. It becomes your time. It becomes that space where you want to go and spend time. It's not networking. It's not, over a period of time, suddenly you see it's kind of brotherhood. Anybody can pick up the phone and call anybody. If you look at the profile of people that we have within the club, by means of economic standards or by means of professional profile or whatever that is, it is incredible combination. You will see people from all walks of life extremely successful in whatever that they're doing. And I use the word extremely successful. It's like that. You will see people and you will be, nobody can sit across and feel that, they're better than the other person. So very quickly you'll realize ground is the best place to be. Just be yourself, do the real thing. There's no space for people to pretend. Pretensions are out, nationalities are out, race is out, religion is out, everything is out. You just be yourself and spend that time. And this is something that I've driven from the day one that I got into this, because it's important. I have seen, today WhatsApp groups and all of that, I've seen people getting upset with each other in close friends, schoolmates and university mates come in one subject on religion, on politics, on nationality, race, some country did something. Why the hell should be bothered about all this? None of that is allowed here. You spend some time here.
Yeah.
Absolutely none of that happens.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm saying...
Because these things are not discussed.
No, should not be. And if you recall, one of the things that I put as conditions there, that's very strongly worded statement there. And I try and put it as politely as I can, and I politely remind people when some topic comes up, it's important. Deviating from the core purpose, from a fun element, it's all good. But very quickly it will turn out to be more than fun.
So fun is very subjective.
Yeah.
You are supposed to have fun. You're not supposed to make fun of the other.
Exactly.
So there's a very fine line between these two.
But when it comes to nationality or race or religion or politics, is there a line drawn? Very rarely it is. Very quickly it changes.
I try and avoid those subjects.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's not what we are there for. There are 101, starting from my family to starting from everywhere, there are 101 groups where we can do that.
Yeah. Why here?
This is why to bring it here.
I agree.
So, on that subject, I'll tell you something. When I started this off-roading activity, again, I'll go there. I saw everybody who has, this is not their principal, 90% of the people don't have their principal vehicles as an off-road vehicle, because that's a different kind of an animal in itself. So everybody is very affluent, they are very well settled, they are settled people. And I saw a jeep being stuck, and I saw people jumping from their cars with shovels and trying to rescue that and trying to help each other. So that kind of brotherhood, without taking into consideration what you are back on from Monday till Friday, on a Saturday, Sunday, when you are out in the desert, you are a different person. You connect with people on that level of humanity.
Absolutely.
That is what we have been missing, I think, in cities like that. And this club provides them an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
Absolutely.
You haven't answered my question of why a Thursday.
Why a Thursday? Actually, over the years, we've tried different days. And I thought beginning of the week is going to be very tough for everybody. People travel and people have their own. Most people in Dubai are not sitting in Dubai and working. They travel and they come back to the weekend and all of that. That's one. Second, weekdays are impossible to dive into anything that you want to, because people have other engagements. It could be business, it could be entertainment, it could be anything. Entertaining your business people, whatever that is. But Friday is generally family thing, something or the other is happening on a Friday for the family. Weekends, you want to spend time with the kids, you want to spend it. Everybody has priorities. Thursday, in this region, Friday is a relatively easy day for most people. So Thursday night, a little bit of stretch is all right. So, and it has just evolved into that. It's not like, I said, no, I must do it on Thursday. No, it happened. And it happened for good.
It happened because everybody was more comfortable on Thursday.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So why do you think people are drawn towards cigars?
Good question. People are.
I'm sorry if I'm asking you questions.
No. I think it's a good question because a lot of people initially are drawn into cigars. In my mind, it's because it looks good. It makes you feel elated, and people associate cigars with being
affluent,
successful, affluent, whatever. I mean, I don't know if I can use this word, but it's pretty bullshit. Honestly, nothing to do with success or affluence or nothing. Perception is that. And many a times, this was before. I don't think it's changing or it's evolving a great deal.
It's a bit of a, like, if you want to smoke a cigarette, it's a bit of a more costlier hobby, I would say.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether money plays a role here at all. It doesn't. I mean, we think it does. It doesn't play a role.
It doesn't play a role, right?
No, not really. Because what are we talking about? There are many people. Okay, I've been with this for a long time, so I do a lot of cigars a day. But there are people who do cigar once a week, and he's a cigar person. He loves it, but he likes to wind up that week with a nice cigar. It could be. There are people who does celebratory cigars. That's different. Then there are people like us.
and all the people around us hate us because we are smoking cigars so often, and we get those stares.
Yeah, which is also fine. But like, I just want to go back there, what you asked the question. This pretension is what drove this cigar business a great deal. And this happened primarily because the demographics of cigar consumers were very different. It used to be 45, 50 was the only time when people actually reach out for a cigar. By then, typically you assume that a lot of people have achieved a level of success that they aspire for. Success is defined in different forms.
Subjective.
Very subjective. So that's what I said. What they aspire for, they probably have achieved by 45, 50, and they think this is time that they want to indulge a little bit, and they give it to themselves. But that was a time when there are many others who would like to look at that person and say, I want to be like him. So let me have a cigar, so I probably will connect better with him. And that is where the whole danger started. Then the band of the cigar was what people started focusing on. It was never the actual cigar, the leaf, the flavors, whatever else it gave, which was the more important part. That was forgotten, and the band became the focus.
The focus point.
But I think it still happens even in our club. I wouldn't say that we are all clean. There are a lot of people who like to fit into the game. But over a period of time, even they evolve. They also see, it doesn't really matter nobody's asking you what you're smoking, how much you paid for it, and nobody's going to position you anywhere because you smoked an XYZ cigar. It doesn't happen. You smoke a cigar which suits your palate. If it doesn't suit your palate, it doesn't matter how much you paid for it, or
if it doesn't, it doesn't.
I've always compared cigars with food, different kind of cuisine, your wine, your single malts, whatever that is. Everything has a flavor that drives you into that. And that's precisely what this is all about. And such a personal thing. Try telling somebody, don't like this one, like this one. It doesn't work like that.
It never does.
Never does.
Because people have their own things to look at.
No.
So, do you think that if people are drawn to a certain, when they start drawn to a certain flavor, drawn to a certain type, we hear about Cubans and everybody is into Cuban, but I think, boss, have you ever experienced a Cuban? Have you ever experienced anything else? Because everybody is having a Cuban. You also talk about Cuban. Like you said, there are different palates, there are different flavors, and people want to enjoy all of that.
Two things here. One is Cuban versus the rest of the world. Two, palate. Palate is the most important thing I think you should be looking at. Who's the best cook in your life when you were growing up? Who's the best cook until you got married or whatever?
My mom.
Exactly. And that's the palate which got you growing. And your palate is adjusted to that. that is what you define as comfort zone, isn't it? That's your
Yes.
comfort zone.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter. Your mother is the best cook in the world. Always.
For me.
It's no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that is what developed your palate. If you
Yes.
look at your palate, you have your salt, bitterness, umami, sweet, all these different flavors in different parts of your mouth. And those sensory elements becomes active when you eat food or cigars or whatever. But your sensory element for sweet need not be as pronounced as mine, or my umami flavors need not be as pronounced as yours.
Yes.
So I give you a cigar and say, I taste XYZ on this, and you smoke and say, I didn't get this. It doesn't matter, because your sensory feel for that is probably not as activated for that flavor like mine. So be yourself, suit yourself. It's you.
Whatever floats your boat.
So, yeah, absolutely. And that's what developed your palate over a period of time. Then when you first reached out to a cigar and you tried a few things, you realize this feels a bit harsh. This feels all right. Oh, that's nice.
That's nice.
That's
Then
nice.
you start gravitating towards that.
Yeah, and I've always encouraged people, don't go by the brand. Just pick up any. I'm talking about not low-end dust cigars. I'm saying premium cigars. Pick anything. Develop your palate first. Over a period of time, you smoke all kinds of cigars, and then you make up your mind which one suits your palate, and then you start marking. Okay, keep a stock of this, keep a stock of this, different times of the day, different days, it all varies. And coming to the brand that you asked about, Cuban and the rest of the world, I mean, to be fair, outside US particularly, after the 59 to 61, you had that embargo, Cuba and all of that in US. So US didn't have an option but to go in
Nicaragua was an option.
Nicaragua, Honduras, Dominican Republic, all of them did. Dominican Republic is the world's biggest producer of cigars.
Cigar leaf.
Not Cuba, not Nicaragua, none of these. They are the biggest producers of cigars in the world. Nicaragua is the last count. Nicaragua is the biggest supplier of cigars into US. Now, US people had the benefit of enjoying most of the different versions of leaves in the US, and a lot of them were produced inside the US by bringing in leaves.
So a lot of them were being brought by South America, through South America.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to understand this a little better, like wine, the terroir make the difference. So obviously, these places, Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, Honduras, they were all closer to the volcanic zones, closer the equidistance from the equator. The temperature levels are more tropical. They have rains. They have moderate temperature across the world. All of these factors actually contributed a great deal into growing the leaf with the flavors that they preferred, because obviously volcanic zones have enough minerals going into the soil, and it actually translated into something very, very beautiful. But people never had the option of looking at world cigars before. I'm sure if you look at 8-10 years back, all you saw was Cuban.
Yeah.
And so you'll be surprised when somebody who's been smoking or enjoying probably cigars for over 10 years, if you ask them, which is your first cigar? 90% of the time they will say
Cuban.
And they'll say Cohiba. Because that's the first brand that they touched. Everybody. There are times where I sit in the lounge in an airport and I'm letting them cigar. People just come in, they don't even ask it's a cigar. Is it a Cohiba? Sit. Why should it be a Cohiba? But that's the perception. That's the brand. That's the perception that they have. But it's more. What I'm coming to is more to do with access into other cigars that was lacking in most of the regions, and Cuban was accessible. People knew Cuban. They developed their palates over a period of time.
So how would you describe a memorable night or something that stands out, because you've had so many instances and you've had so many occasions? Which is one that stands out and that is etched in your memory? One night something happened and some memorable. I'm sure every week is fun. I've seen
Yeah,
every week is very fun.
it's so difficult to say that. With such, we have 54 nationalities of people in our club, 54 in Dubai alone, and you have an age group from 22 till 70 or close to 80.
Close to it.
Yeah, that's a wide range, and the expectations differ, tastes vary. What they want out of a good evening is such a varied thing. It's very difficult to make an assessment like that. More importantly, I've realized a couple of things. There are certain age groups like to sit and have a chat in a quieter and a nicer environment where light music is there, the more conversation happens. Some people like it a little more louder and more action oriented. So it's always a challenge trying to pick the spot that they want to spend the evening with.
Which can be...
I made sure that it is not just catering to one type of audience. It cannot be. It's not fair to do that. Everybody has to have a fair pick. So we do that. And also, all the big boys of the industry, whenever they come in, they come and spend time with us. There are big brands around the world. Over a period of time, they've all become very close friends. They come here and spend time with us. Even if they come for events and distributor brings them for very focused events, paid events and all of that. When they finish it, they come and spend time with us. That tells you a story, and
Yes.
people like to come in and spend time
Share
with them as
stories.
well. Share stories. They come and tell them about their background, their success stories, and why they did what they did.
So can you now, because you're a very avid cigar smoker and you've been doing it for God knows since before time, I would say. So can you walk us through how you would guide a first time person who's just coming into this and he would like to enjoy his first cigar? Can you walk us through that journey? How should he approach this?
It's important. If I were to tell somebody, it's important to understand what palate we would like to serve. It's very important to understand that, because otherwise you're starting on the wrong foot, and whatever you give them wouldn't work. The palate can vary for different people coming from different parts of the world. An easiest way to start would be light to medium bodied cigars. Strength basis next to nothing. That's a good way of getting used to a cigar. The difficult part is people look at cigars as smoking. I don't like the word smoking a cigar. In fact, I was with my medical doctor the other day, and he a new one, and he asked me, "Do you smoke?" And I said, "No." And my wife was with me, and she said, she was looking at me, "Really? You don't?" I said, "No, I don't. I don't."
You don't smoke a cigar.
You don't smoke a cigar. Cigar is a mind and palate experience in my mind. It's not something that you smoke. I don't want to devalue the whole thing by saying I smoke the cigar. It's just burning it off.
So do you have a personal favorite? Now coming to you, back to you. Do you have a personal favorite? And is there a personal pairing that you enjoy the most?
Two questions there.
Yes.
Everybody's trying to ask this question. I've never answered that question. Personal
Why?
favorite?
Okay,
no, because I'll tell you.
Your favorite
there is
keep on changing?
Not because of that. I enjoy all kinds of cigars. I'm not a snob. I enjoy cigars for what cigar means to me. I am more of a leaf person than a brand person when it comes to cigars. A day smoke, morning smoke would be different from an evening smoke. What I had at that time as food or drink will also dictate the choice. But I am not picky about it. I enjoy all kinds of. I respect the people who make the cigar. Cigar is like it's like going to a chef and telling him what to do. I would say leave it to them. They know best. You know your palate. They know how to make it. And combinations. See, this is the other part of World Cigars and Cuban Cigars. Cuban Cigars there's something called puro cigar, which means everything is from the same place. A Dominican cigar could have fillers from Honduras and Nicaragua and have a wrapper from Dominican Republic. Vice versa, it could happen either way. That's an advantage, I would say, the World Cigars have. They can pick leaves from anywhere, create recipes the way they want to suit a palate that exists all around the world. So choosing one brand may not be the right story to go forward with. So no, your second question is equally important. I'll tell you why. Pairing, for many people, vary. Again, pairing can be contradictory, it can be complementary, it can be anything. But for me personally, I mean, don't take this as a foreword or anything, but for me, pairing is a very flawed concept. Whether it is whiskey or cigars,
or generally,
I am a bit of a purist when it comes to both. I like to enjoy a cigar the way it was made for the flavors it would give me. I don't want to infuse a flavor from outside and feel that flavor. No, I like that cigar for what it is meant. A torcedor and a master blender spends a lot of time trying to create that balance.
Perfect that
balance. And the same applies to whiskey as well. Many years, 2.5, 3 years they take to come to conclusion on this is what I want out of this whiskey.
And we just within a second, okay, mix it with this and this.
Yeah, and they mature it over a period of decades they keep it. And then suddenly you come in and put ice and water and then put coffee into that, and then you say, I like this because that sounded good. But what is the influencing factor there? Not the whiskey, it's that one. Do you want that? You pay good money for this? You want this or you want that? So for me, this is my personal take. I don't think many people would agree with me, and we've had this debate. I'm giving a logical conclusion to this. I think for me, the best way to pair would be a nice glass of sparkling water with a dash of lime in it.
That's it.
My palate is clean. I enjoy the cigar for what it is meant to be.
So you've seen me smoking cigar with fresh lime and water.
Absolutely.
Good. So what is the most unusual pairing you have ever seen in your life?
Unusual pairing. There's nothing unusual about pairing. Like I said, it's so personal. People could vary with anything. For me, what is unusual?
No. For you, say, yeah, this. I'm a very flexible person, but man, this is just disturbing to see.
Disturbing. I mean, I wouldn't put it disturbing, but I would say I have been surprised, not so much with cigars alone. I've been surprised with a very good friend. You might know him. I'll take the name later. But he called me once. He invited me. My wife was not in town, and she invited me home. He was also alone, and he said, "Let's do some pairing." I said, "It's better. You want to have some whiskey and cigars? Game. Let's do it." So when I went, have you paired whiskey and cigars with tumri? And honestly, I didn't know what tumri was. I didn't even know what that was. And then I said, tumri? He said, yeah, tumri music. You have not heard? I said, no. What is tumri music? He said, come home, I'll show you what it is. That's amazing pairing. I don't know how that is amazing pairing, but such a personal thing. He enjoys, and then he explained to me, this is tumri music. And if you ask me, if I play tumri music now, will you recognize that? No, I wouldn't. I don't know, it's just another music for me. It sounded very Indian classical kind of a music, but I don't know how to categorize that music. And he said, I like that pairing. Have you heard tumri, by the way? No.
I have.
You have, I'm sure.
So tumri actually, you see all these activities when you smoke a cigar. So all these things are supposed to be experienced. Cigar is supposed to be all about experience. A good glass of whiskey is supposed to give you an experience. It's supposed to bring people together, and they talk, and then they open up, and then they share. So tumri also is very mellow. You're supposed to relax, enjoy, and experience that. So all three things blend in as far as the
Absolutely.
relaxation
I agree.
experience. But this is where it starts, this is where it ends.
So going back to my smoking part of it, the same thing.
We're not smoking.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a mind and palate experience. Now you touch the mind, which
Yes.
means
Yes.
Tumri is about that mental space. It puts you in a space.
It
Yes.
puts you in a mental space.
Yeah.
It puts you somewhere where you feel that yes, this is my zone.
Agreed. Agreed.
This is so-
But that's the unusual part. It's a great experience. I mean, if you ask me, did you enjoy it? I don't know, to tell you that I really enjoyed the music. But it was nice. I like classical music, so it was nice.
For me, it would be
Very relaxed.
For me, an odd one out, and I would try and leave that place is somebody pairing a cigar with matcha.
With matcha.
Matcha, like I would say,
Very.
this is something very weird. Like, it's not happening. I would try and escape that place.
Okay.
Uh, Coming towards the end, where do you see this Dubai chapter heading in the coming years? The population is growing. There are a lot of people coming to Dubai, and it's growing. How do you want to see it grow, and which direction do you want to see it grow in?
The core purpose is community building.
Every time, I'm sure you ask this question to yourself as well. Every time you have a new request for a member to join, you evaluate it not on the basis of whatever the social or economic or the profile is, but is that person a good fit in this community? So you already have a structure laid out for the community. How do you want to see it grow? And which direction do you want to see it grow?
You know, when we started this conversation, I said we'd like to keep this very invitation based. And I try and follow that as much as I can. But I'd be lying if I say I've been very strict about it. In the initial phases, you know, I don't like to upset people. Sometimes it becomes necessary. A good friend comes in and says, he smokes cigar once in a while, he really wants to learn something and he wants to be there. And many a times I've seen those picks have gone wrong because, not wrong is the wrong word to use. I think they've come back in and they're there just for the fun of it. Cigar was never the focus for them. They just wanted to be with people like that, which is fine. I'm not averse to that kind of a thing. But why I say this is because initial stages I was very open to these kind of things. As we started growing and as I hear from different people, that's a community which likes to relate to people within the community. And I've realized this coming very strongly from people who come in there. They've chosen that path because keeping aside their other priorities in life, they've chosen that path because they like that company. And when there is a lot of people who are not into that game and they come in and they're talking about, and I have had members who come in, so first thing they ask is, where do you live? What do you do? And many members don't like it.
Yeah.
They just don't like it. Why do you want to know? We're here to enjoy our cigars. How does it matter? That's space where they can be themselves and not be associated with where they live, what they drive, or who they are. It doesn't matter. And that becomes a problem over a period of time. Some good guys tend to walk away. They say, no, man, it's not working for me. I don't want that to happen. So even now, good friends come in and say, look, so I tend to ask the question back, is he actually a cigar person? Don't worry, bring him. I try and be nice. Bring him as a guest once a while. No problem. Don't be a member. You don't need to be a member for all of this. We allow guests. You can bring in your guests, no issues. But come in, have fun, go. You don't want to be a member. Because when you're a member, then there are certain things that is expected of you.
And what are those certain things?
I mean, it's just about cigars. I mean, this is a cigar club and cigar community. You tell me anything. It doesn't have to be, I have enjoyed cigars for 10 years or 15 years or 20. It doesn't matter. 1 year is fine. 15 days is fine. Is that an area that you're interested in? You want to learn more. Are you relating to the concept of elitist or affluence when you touch a cigar, or you are into the game because you enjoy that and you want to learn more? Cigar is about that. And if you go to the US, you'll quickly realize everything changes there. Everything changes there because access to cigar is very easy. Anybody can. It doesn't matter what price range a cigar is. It's very easily accessible. In Dubai, one challenge that we would like to address as a community would be the cost of cigars. It's prohibitory. I mean, if you ask me, I would never pick up a cigar from a lounge. Because it's crazy.
4 times, 5 times the price.
Absolutely. And even by the time a retail outlet gets a cigar, you would, I mean, I'm not taking exact numbers, but about 250% of duty and customs you pay. You don't want to delve on. I mean, so people tend to buy cigars from duty free. People travel, they pick up from here and there. But I see Dubai changing. With people coming into this place, like you said, so many people are coming in here, and creating a space for everybody is important, and that's what Dubai is always focused on. This will change eventually.
It will change.
It will change.
So, my final question. You've been very patient with my series of questions. So, what has been the most rewarding experience? So what is the one take that you say, okay, I've been doing this for so many years, and this is one of the most rewarding experiences that I had. That's the reason I'm doing it. That's the part of this building this community. Because you have not you have actually created a community, right? So what has been the most rewarding experience in that?
Creating a community is definitely one of the most important things here, but I think catering to the aspirations of people within that passion zone is pretty rewarding, I would say, because there aren't many places like this where most people come and spend 2-3 weeks with us and then they say, oh, this is nice. I mean, we never expected this to be there, because there is a tendency for clubs to be formed in every nook and corner of the city, and it typically tends to be, like I said before, 10-15 people, all friends, they come, catch up, they go. So it becomes about them. What did you do? What did you do? All of that a week. That we can do anyway, you know. But a club is a community which doesn't really, it crosses the bar, crosses the line about friends or family. Everybody is family, suddenly. You know, everybody can relate to each other. Creating a zone like that, and anybody can pick up the phone and speak to anyone and get that access as human beings, as individuals, is a great feeling. Absolutely brilliant feeling.
So with this, we come to the conclusion, and thank you so very much for sparing your valuable time, sharing this amazing cigar with me. I love this.
Thank you. And don't make it so formal. The time for you is always there.
You've always been very kind. And if you want to know more about this community or cigars or whatever there is, please don't ask me. If he's learning the ropes, I'm nowhere in it. But thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you, Asim. Thanks for the patience. Thanks for the questions. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
And let's enjoy this.
Let's do that.
Now,
Yeah.
Thank you.